If you're coming to College World Series and you don't have tickets, there are a couple of different ways you can buy them. You can either buy them at the ticket booth or buy them from ticket scalpers. Dozens of these books spreading Nazi messages are being left in little libraries just like this around West Omaha, and neighbors are outraged. People are lining the streets, hot dogs are sizzling, and the celebration starts right here on the street. Thanks, Rob. Now let's take a look at here where the fire started. You can see that smoke residue here on the windows. Now that fire spread through the ventilation system. 2 Hispanic male victims in their 20s are in critical condition. They were taken to Nebraska Medicine, and one of those victims did require CPR. Today's hearing allowed community members to express concerns and answer questions about that new proposal. Now that they know that basics come school time, they'll know exactly what to do. That rain yesterday was just so heavy, the pumps couldn't handle it, causing major backup just like this all over the city. In 2016, Nebraska had 44 opioid-related deaths. Now, that is less than the national average. The 36th annual Field Club celebration was one for the books, and the Field Club neighborhood says, Happy 4th of July! That's right, you can still smell that smoke in the air. The fire spread to 3 spaces in the strip mall. Now you can see that black residue along the window there and on the signs up above. Crews arrived on the scene at around 11:15 last night. The flames too heavy upon approach. Crews did not enter the building. They fought the fire from outside. I'm told it took about an hour to contain the flames. The shop is located in a strip mall again, so that fire did affect 3 shops next door. Crews able to put out those flames before it got worse.
Right now it's contained to what you see right there between the Pettits and the bay right next to it. They had firewalls on each side, so we were able to contain it to that.
I was kind of surprised the amount of damage that occurred on just our retail spot. The firemen said the roofs might be caving in because of the air conditioner and the amount of water that they had to pour on the building.
No one was inside the shop at the time of the fire, and the cause is still under investigation. Reporting live near 120th and Blondo, Niyah Gonzalez, KETV News Watch 7. You can see all this water left behind from yesterday's record rainfall. Residents are still trying to get the water from inside out. Some can't go home. Crews spraying down the streets and closing down roads as they cleaned up mud and debris left behind from 2 days of record rains. Some areas too flooded to clean. Crews waiting until the water levels drop.
Big Lake is closed off because the lake is actually over the road. And the other one is Hannafin Park, of course. Hannafin Park drive-through, and the part of the parking lot is underwater.
The water on streets might be gone, but the damage left behind so bad, some people are forced to leave their homes.
Everything that was on the floor is all gone, so.
His couches, electronics, and all of his daughter's toys ruined. Wilson is packing up what he can and moving out until his property gets cleaned up.
I do have flood insurance. I called my insurance. They told me to get everything I can save out and then leave it all damaged. They're going to assess it, and then we'll go from there.
Wilson bought flood insurance nearly a month ago, which turned out to be a good decision.
Pretty fortunate. I mean, I'm glad I got it in time.
But that's not the case for Kathleen Chalura and her mother.
Freaked out, called the landlord. They didn't really do too much.
Her backyard turned into a pond. My
hammock was pretty much underwater, so I was like, oh my gosh, and I ran downstairs and I looked at it and it was up to the socket.
Chalura and her friends tried to drain as much as they could, but the basement still filled with about 1 inch of water.
And this is kind of just going to sit here until I squeegee it out.
I spoke with Public Works earlier today. I'm told that the rivers were already at capacity. The city had to shut down the water gates and rely solely on pump stations. But yesterday's rainfall, too much to handle for those pumps, causing this flooding that you see behind me here. And I'm told the river has gone down, but it has not gone down enough. Reporting live in Council Bluffs, Niyah Gonzalez, KETV News Watch 7. Lunchtime at Oak Valley Elementary is busy. And today's menu has everyone buzzing. Do you like watermelon, my dear? Awesome.
Today is our first Nebraska Thursday for the school year, and every first Nebraska Thursday we feature local Nebraska products.
Once a month, locally grown food is delivered to Omaha Public Schools.
Chicken, I got a piece of corn on the cob for you. watermelon. We have a little bit of squash to sample. Would you like to try?
And kids get to see, taste, and learn what makes a nutritious meal.
Because lots of farmers have healthy food then, and so you can have your body strong.
The program also highlights Taste It and Try It fruits and veggies of the month, so curious kids can sample new things.
For a lot of our children, this is where they're introduced to a lot of different foods. They're introduced to products they normally may not see, and it expands their horizons.
It's really good.
Nothing comes from a box. Everything is served fresh.
They're coming directly from, a company, and they're raw. We process them ourselves, sauce them ourselves, and then serve them.
Fourth grader Kaylani Connor says Nebraska Thursdays are better than the regular meals.
You can get two vegetables at once.
And you can tell the kids love it because they're eating it all.
And it's days like these that make it all worthwhile.
So we know it just takes to continually to put it on the menu over and over and over, and gradually it becomes mainstream. It becomes part of their normal food experience.
In Omaha, Niyah Gonzalez, KETV News Watch 7. Thousands of cans a day filled up with beer made right here in Nebraska.
The craft beer thing's been going on, for over 20 years.
But profiting from it is a whole new ballgame. Governor Pete Ricketts toured Brickway Brewery and Distillery in Omaha's Old Market Thursday, seeing how these brews could boost Nebraska's economy.
Taking something we grow like hops and turning it into beer, that's value-added agriculture. And we want to encourage that and see more of that.
But with Chinese trade deals, tax costs on aluminum and steel could be a buzzkill.
It's something that will start costing us, multiple cents per can, which over the course of the year, when we're doing millions of cans, turns into a real chunk of money.
Governor Ricketts says some manufacturers are already seeing a 30% cost increase, making Nebraska less competitive.
And this is one of the things where we encourage the administration to really get some of these trade deals wrapped up so that we can really get back to more of a business as normal so our manufacturers can be competitive in that world marketplace.
I hope that those tariffs aren't permanent, and I hope that we can work together to make good choices that helps trade for all their businesses in Nebraska.
In the Old Market, Niyah Gonzalez, KETV News Watch 7.
Just put it in there.
It's not your typical kitchen, but these families don't mind.
Which is a better choice most of the time?
They're learning how to make healthy choices.
The fiber.
The fiber, very good.
And how to cook foods they've never bought before.
We talk about menu planning, we talk about how to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into meals.
CHI Health and Cooking Matters teamed up to offer the hands-on class.
Just put your hand like that, bare claw like that, like that.
Professional chef Cedric Fishpin teaches the 6-week course.
It is very important to know what you're eating. You're the one who's going to make the food, so you know exactly what's inside, and you can control what you're putting inside.
Just as important, getting your kids involved.
The family cooks together, so the kids are learning knife skills. They're learning how to, cut fruits and vegetables and prepare meals together.
But there's just one requirement.
We have a 1-bite rule.
It's surprisingly delicious.
They come in here saying, oh, I'm a picky eater, I don't like that, I don't really like fruits, or I don't like vegetables.
And after that 1 bite,
they end up thinking, oh, that's not bad, I actually really like that.
Ann Allen is taking the class with her son Isaiah, and they love it.
There was no charge, and there's no referral, easy to get in.
I gotta learn new techniques and how to make banana pudding.
And they're leaving with a new approach to mealtime.
I let him do a lot more of the preparing with me now instead of me just doing everything.
I have the same ingredients over at my garden, so I could easily pick it up and then make the food. Definitely a 5-star, and everyone should try it.
In Omaha, Niyah Gonzalez, KETV News Watch 7.